Hello Eternum and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news, and this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night, as all three great houses went out going away, and retained the rights to their respective regions. The citizens of Ebonscale celebrating in style after their victory, and throughout the nights, as the Year of the Dragon celebration continues. Citizens of all factions are encouraged to come by and sample the free entrees available on the upper concourse of Fortune's Crossing. While visiting the resort destination, be sure to swing by the Gong and pick up a Fortune's gift sack available daily. Returning to our ongoing coverage of the Season 4 Eternal Frost reward track, KOTT News would like to remind you that there are only 27 days remaining. So be sure to knock out 2 or 3 cards a day if you haven't already started. And if you're having trouble getting enough expeditions done, be sure to check out the newly improved Azoth-infused Cross-Realm Group Finder. No breaches to report on from last night's invasion response, and no corruption armies forecast to mobilize tonight, for those of you anxious about your local hamlet infrastructure. 4 more submissions for tonight's simulated fantasy combat resolution, brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it is cardboard. With special thanks to the Craft Services crew. If you'd like to support KOTT News, Patreon is currently the best way. Tonight, the Marauders of Emotional Damage assault the Syndicate members of Primordus Rise for Crown and Kingdom of the Western Monarch's Bluff. The Marauders of Emotional Damage foretold of their coming, but that was off the record. This fight is public knowledge, however, and as such, fair news to report on. Despite being more concerned with the authority of the Week 1 Accords, Primordus feels confident in their chances against this surprise uprising against their monarchical rule. Meanwhile, the Marauders of HBM assail the Syndicate members of Tropical for control of the secondary oil fields of the Cutlass Keys. The Marauders of HBM return after a month's hiatus, ready to rumble with the Crocodiles, in order to reclaim their training grounds in the Mosh Pits. But Tropical have no intention of relinquishing their position in the region, as Spyglass Ridge continues to act as the forward observation post into Old First Light. Then, the Covenant converts of Witchers attack the Syndicate members of JDB's Kitchen for control of the bear-infested deep forests of Brightwood. The Witchers keep pressing their Inquisition, striking out on offense for another night in a row, looking for more space to expand their holy empire. But as shown by last night's outcomes, JDB have already regained their footing from the unexpected knockout, and aren't likely to give up a region lawfully purchased originally by the Syndicate. Meanwhile, the Marauders of Pharma assail the Syndicate members of Fresh Bench for control of the master fishing and shrimping territory of Reekwater. Pharma forces continue their slog through the bog, turning south into the Delta, returning to execute their official right to rematch, but will they have enough fuel in the furnace to capture the flag? In addition to expediting trade, the dry roads cutting between the swamps allowed the Fresh Bench armies to double time it into position and refortify the regional keep well before the Marauders arrive. We'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.